In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to go about modifying an existing model. Now, this is the model in question. Now, I have gone ahead and downloaded this model. And so the question is, we want to put a custom name on here. And this individual gives us some instructions to download the letters you need by clicking on the download files, load the print file, the print profile, delete the sample object, and right-click on the base of the sign and click Load Part and load the letters you need. You can see all these different letters and things, and there's some examples here of how to go about um, doing all of this. You definitely don't want to do all this. This is way overcomplicating it, and it's definitely way easier to do it the way I'm about to show you. So let's go into Bambu Studio and let's download the file in question. Let's start there. So we are going to download this file, and it is called Jurassic. Let's see here. I believe it's this one. Okay, so there is the file in question. And one thing that is kind of nice, if you look over here, the sample text here is a separate object from the rest of it. So we'll go ahead and delete that because we don't need that. And let's just take a quick look at this existing file here and see how it's set up. So the first of all, this here, let's go ahead and name that background. And then what do we have? Then we have a black object. We'll call it upper logo, just so we can kind of differentiate. And then we'll call it lower artwork. I don't know what you want to call that. Just so we have some kind of name to it. And then this will be the outer border. Okay. So it is nice that we have separate objects. Now what I want to do is look more closely at how this existing sign is set up. So we're going to select on our background shape and go to our scale tool, and you'll see that the background is 3.17. The upper logo is 1.27. The lower piece is 0.63. And then the outer border is 0.63 as well. Now, generally speaking, when I'm setting up a file, I kind of like to have like even numbers. It's not critical to what we're doing, but for example, if I were to select my background and it's at 3.17, I would just prefer that to be at 3, for example. Now, we don't want uniform scale selected, so we'll just make it 3. Again, this is not something you would have to do to modify it, but this is just what I prefer. So this upper logo, either have it be a millimeter or have it be 1.5 millimeters. The lower artwork, either a 0.5 millimeter or a millimeter. I'll just make it a 0.5. And then the border, I'll go ahead and make it a 0.5. Okay, now that's only part of the puzzle, because we want to talk about Z heights here. So this background object is 3 millimeters thick, and so its Z height should always be half of that, which in this case would be 1.5. So to look at the Z height, we want to go into our move tool, change to row coordinates, and then take a look at the Z height. It's a negative value right now. And so I believe that's a negative value. So we just want to put that at 1.5. Maybe it's not a negative value. That could be a spot on my screen. So that is sitting on the plate, and then this this outside border. Let's just select just the outside border here. So that needs to sit on top of my background. So, and that's a 0.5 millimeter thick. So the world coordinate should be 3.25. You can see it's 3.41. So this should be 3.25. And now it's sitting directly on top of the red background. The lower artwork here, it is a 0.5 millimeter thick, so it should be at 3.25. because you take half the thickness of the object, which is, this is a 1/2 millimeter, so that's a quarter, plus the thickness of our background, which is 3. And then the upper logo, it is 1, so it should be 0.5. So the world coordinate for that should be 3.5. And now that is all sitting as it should. Now, what's going to happen here when we slice this plate as it is, what's going to happen here is we're going to start off with red, and then you are going to have gold and black on the same layer. Okay, so, and that's kind of unavoidable. So you see there's 4 color changes here. So if we go down here to red, this is 3 millimeters thick, and so you can see all we have is red. But as soon as we go to that next spot, you can see we have gold showing up and black showing up, which that part's fine on the all the way up. Okay, so that's all well and good. So now the next question is, well, how do we get our text on here? And we definitely don't want to take the time to import each individual letter. Okay, we definitely don't want to do that. So what we could do is just grab the text tool here, and we'll just type out the text in question that we want to add, which in this case is Maxton. And the font that we want to use is Jurassic Park font, which you can download anywhere online. And we'll just call it good there. And let's go ahead and make that text our white filament color. And then we'll scale it. We just choose to scale it here and make it as big as we want to fit our plate. We'll click on top here to get a direct top-down view, and see if we can make it basically as big as we want. So, and then we can move it into position exactly how we want. And then obviously we're not going to have it 17 millimeters thick, so we would drop that down to, oh, let's say, I don't know, 3 millimeters, 2 millimeters, whatever I'd probably do 2. I probably wouldn't do 3. 3's kind of thick, but it has to be sitting on the proper plane. It's going to have to sit right on top of red here. So, you know, red is 3, that's 2, so our world coordinate then should be 4. But there's an important note to make here, is we cannot move Maxton into the Z because it's not part of the assembly. Can't move things that are not part of an assembly, not in the Z direction. So there's our text, there's our assembly, and we're going to right click and choose merge. And now those two are together, and now we could select our text, select our move tool, select world coordinates, select 4 millimeters, because remember, Maxton is 2 millimeters, right? So half of 2 is 1, plus the thickness of red, that's 3. Okay, and now we have exactly what we were after. See how simple that is? Rather than importing each individual letter, and that's kind of crazy talk right there. So I would not want to do that. Now, here's the other thing. We cannot, with the way this is set up, we cannot, this inside of the text, we cannot have that be a separate color. But if you look at our other video on this topic, which I will link to in the video description below, we show you how to take advantage of Inkscape for our Maxton text, which would allow us to go ahead and change out our color. So I'm just going to go ahead and, just for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, because I just want to show you that just real quick. Now I've already done the work here. But again, I will link to, in the video description below, I will link to a separate video that shows you how to create this text that we're going to be using. But what we're going to do is we right click on our build plate here, and we're going to choose add primitive, and we're going to add an SVG. And in this case, there's our Maxton SVG, and this is our text now. You can see it's quite large, but again, we could scale this text just like we did previously, right? we'll hit our top here, so we're looking straight down, and then we can scale it to fit the area that we have available for us. So there you go. Now we're going to change the filament color here. Let's see, let's do 4 because we're going to make it white. But in this text, we have 2 separate parts. So let's go here and let's go ahead and scale this to the same 2 millimeters. Okay, so now that's scaled to 2 millimeters, but we had 2 separate parts. You see here, you have all these parts here, right? And so let's go ahead and change the color of those. We're going to change those maybe back to red, all right? Now, this is an assembly, the text, that SVG file that but it's not part of the main assembly. So we're going to select both assemblies, control click, right click and choose merge. And now those are all part of the same assembly. So now what we want to do is we want to set these different pieces. So for example, this is 2 millimeters thick. Our background is still 3. So we already know that that should be the roll coordinate of 4. And that's going to be sitting directly on top of our red. Now, in order to get those red bits sitting on top of Maxton, what do we have to do? Well, in that situation, it's a little bit different because we need to be at 3 plus 2, 5. So we need to be at 5. But we need to move all of these parts, all these individual parts of our lettering, we need to move those in the Z direction. And what's kind of fun here is to understand something about Bambu Studio. It took me a while to figure this out, but now that I know it, I understand it better. The first thing we need to do is figure out where the Z is for one of those pieces. Okay, so we're going to select, for example, we're going to select this one right here. That's the N. Where is the Z currently? Well, we go into world coordinates, and you're going to see the Z is at 1. Now, why is this significant? Well, what do we need that Z to be? It's already at 1, but what do we need it to be? Well, we know we need it to be because that is 2 millimeters thick, which I think we're actually going to make those 1 millimeter thick. So let's do that real quick. It's not going to change our Z, so that's no big deal. But so let's go back over to scale here and let's make those 1. Okay, but now let's select this first one again. And again, look at the world coordinate Z. So again, it doesn't change. The Z didn't change just because we changed the thickness. But so it's at 1. So what do we need it to be? Well, that piece is 1, so half of 1 is 0.5. Our red background is 3. Our Maxton text background is 2. That's 5 plus a half. So the Z has to be at 5.5. Well, if we select all of these pieces, which we can, just control click all those pieces. When we set the Z, notice it is world coordinates. When we set the Z, what do we want to set the Z at? Well, you would think we would want to set the Z at 5.5 because that's what we calculated. But the way Bambu Studio works, and to me this is a bug because to me it should not work this way. But the way Bambu Studio works is it adds to whatever the existing Z is. So we know we need 5.5, but we know we're at 1. So the value here, when you have multiple pieces selected, that has to be 4.5 because we already have 1. So that's why we got to account for what's already there. So when I do that, then you could see that this is like it's supposed to be, sitting directly on top of the white. How fun is that, right? So if we wanted that to be gold or you know, whatever color we wanted, we could change this out. I don't know. I might take a look at it, what it does look like in gold. I don't know. I do think I like red better. But if you just wanted that extra elevation, for that, you would have to do that in Inkscape, because we can't do that in Bambu Studio alone. All right, so that's just a little tidbit information and understanding how assemblies work, understanding your Z heights, and really the main thing is we cannot move an object in the Z without having it be part of the assembly. So do keep that in mind, but as long as it's part of an assembly, we are good to go. So that's really all there is to modifying this. You can see it's pretty straightforward, quick and easy project, but you definitely don't want to do what's demonstrated there uh, on that models page, because that would be craziness to import each individual letter here and go about positioning it on our door sign. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks for watching.